This presentation is to accompany the book Consumer Behavior, a Primer by Gail. Influenced by Freudian theory, motivation research, or projective research, is a qualitative approach to research. Motivation research is based upon the belief that much of what motivates behavior is hidden beneath the surface of consciousness. If you ask people why they buy what they buy, they will give you the logical, rational, edited, politically correct response. This is what they are conscious of. But what consumers are conscious of is just the tip of the iceberg. The real reasons for why consumers behave the way they do are often hidden below the surface. You cannot discover these hidden, unconscious reasons by simply asking people. People cannot tell you what they are not aware of. It is, after all, unconscious. You have to use other methods. Qualitative methods are designed to dig below the surface. These include free association, draw a picture, photo sort, in-depth interviews, focus groups. Let's take a look at examples of each of these. The free association technique involves showing consumers something, maybe a picture, a symbol, a word, a phrase, and asking them to say whatever comes immediately to mind. Here is a well-known study from the 1950s that used the free association technique. Sales of instant coffee was not doing very well. To find out why, marketers asked homemakers why they were not purchasing instant coffee. Homemakers responded that it was the taste. Instant coffee did not taste as good as drip ground coffee. However, a free association technique revealed the real reason. Homemakers were given a woman's shopping list. One group of homemakers was given the shopping list on the left, and the other group of homemakers were given the shopping list on the right. As you can see, the shopping lists are identical with the exception of the coffee. One is Nescafe instant coffee, and the other is Maxwell House drip ground. The homemakers were asked to describe the woman who wrote the shopping list. The results revealed that the homemakers perceived the woman who used instant coffee as lazy, fails to plan, a spendthrift, and not a good wife. To get an understanding of the importance that coffee plays in this perception, let's take a peek at this commercial from this era.
Harvey, want anything special for your birthday?
Just a decent cup of coffee.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. Honey, your coffee's undrinkable.
It's pretty harsh.
Well, so's your coffee. You know, the girls down at the office make better coffee on their hot plates. Well, see you later.
And he didn't even kiss me goodbye. You know, if I could just make a decent cup of coffee, I could relax. So, relax. Why don't you try Instant Folgers? Tastes good as fresh perked. Good as fresh perked. I'll surprise Harvey for his birthday tonight.
Hey, great coffee.
It's Instant Folgers. Doesn't it taste good as fresh perked?
Better.
Better than those girls make at the office?
Honey, their coffee can't hold a candle to yours.
Instant Folgers taste good as fresh perked. Try it.
Here is another example of the use of the free association technique. The researcher reads each brand name out loud, and the respondent says the first word that comes to mind. The results for many consumers may give the researcher an idea of what consumers associate with their product. For example, from the results from this one consumer, we see that his associations with the brands are quite different. He relates 7-Up with vodka, Coke with barbecue, Starbucks coffee with relaxation, Red Bull with studying. In this example of the use of the sentence completion technique, the respondent completes the sentence with the first words that come to mind for a specific product, Pepsi in this case. Here are some responses from 10 different participants. We can see that people drink Pepsi for a variety of reasons. The responses, eat hot, spicy foods, and the response, eat hamburgers and fries, suggests that Pepsi is an accompaniment to foods. Whereas the responses, am depressed, want to pick me up, want to get away from it all, want to reward myself for an accomplishment, suggest that Pepsi is consumed for emotional reasons. This sentence completion projective technique asks respondents to compare people who drink Coke to people who drink Pepsi. The responses from a number of consumers reveal that respondents perceive people who drink Pepsi as younger, more fun to be with, much more likely to take drugs, liberals who support gay issues, and are geekier. What would your answers be to this sentence completion technique used in the American Express advertising campaign? This is the actress Kate Winslet. These are her answers to the sentence completion projective technique. Reading from her responses, we see that she had an ambition from childhood to act, that her son is her alarm clock, her indulgence is chocolate, her life is her family, and of course, since this is an American Express ad, her card is American Express card. This advertisement for Aetna uses sentence completion to introduce its retirement service. The reader is likely to fill in the blanks with her own thoughts. I don't know how I became blank. I guess I kind of fell into it, but I always thought I'd make a pretty good blank. That's why, when I retire, I'm going to start my own blank. The projective technique gets people to start thinking about their retirement. Apple used sentence completion to encourage consumers to dream. Candy Chang is a public installation artist, designer, urban planner, and co-founder of Civic Center. She likes to make cities more comfortable for people. In this project, she is using sentence completion. Passers-by are encouraged to complete the sentence, "Before I die, I want to blank." Chalk is provided for people to use to complete the sentence. This mother and her child are each taking part in the invitation. Here we see a pirate in action. The responses are varied. They include feed an elephant, own a monkey, learn French, see the leaves change many times. Asking consumers to draw a picture may reveal feelings and perceptions that would otherwise not come to light. Asked to draw a picture of the woman who used Pillsbury and the woman who used Duncan Hines, a consumer drew this. This drawing by another consumer suggests perceptions of the Pillsbury and Duncan Hines woman that echoes that of the drawing of the previous consumer. It seems that Pillsbury is a more traditional brand and Duncan Hines is more contemporary. McCann Erickson Advertising Agency asked users of roach spray to create drawings of their prey. These women preferred spray insecticides that allowed them to witness the death throes of the roaches to products that did not allow them to see the roaches die. From the drawings, the agency determined that roach spray sold better than insecticide discs, since the users wanted control and spray allowed them to actively kill the roaches. Motivational research was able to reveal reasons for consumers' underlying psychological need for spray insecticides. It is doubtful that survey research would have uncovered this finding. College students were asked to draw a picture of their lives 5 years after graduation. Most of the drawings were like this one: married and living in a single-family dwelling with 2 children, 2 cars, and some kind of animal. Apparently, this person wants a big family of 10 children and plans to shuttle them around in a school bus. Everyone's very happy, as you can tell by the big smiles. It seems like this person is female. 5 years from now, she is married. Notice the 10-carat ring. With 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter, and shops all day while her husband is at work. Smiles all around, including the sun. Here we have a very successful, fulfilled, and happy life 5 years after graduation. Is that the Golden Gate Bridge I see in the background? Then maybe this is in San Francisco. Is this fantasy? Is someone dreaming? It took 10 years, but it was worth it. Maybe it took 10 years because there was lots of time for lots of fun. This drawing is different from many of the other ones. The graduate is sad. Is he sad because the degree is worthless? Is he sad because he has to leave the fun-filled college life and enter into the workforce? In 5 years, does this graduate see herself as a homeless person who carries all her worldly possessions in a shopping cart? Or maybe she's just going shopping. This drawing is very different. Life after graduation is drive-by shooting in a ghetto? How would you interpret this? Maybe 5 years after graduation, he's on top of the world with briefcase in hand. Is that the bird of paradise flying by? Or maybe a bird that's going to poop on his head? His expression is one of uncertainty. I don't know what he's doing 5 years after graduation, but he seems happy. If we consider all these drawings, we might conclude that there is a general theme of a happy life and fulfillment of the American dream. But there were also some drawings that were decidedly different and challenging to interpret. On the one hand, qualitative techniques like motivation research can provide understanding and valuable insight. But on the other hand, they are difficult to replicate and open to interpretation. For example, take a look at this. How would you interpret the little girl's drawing? She drew her mommy on a stage with a pole and men throwing money at her. Good grief! Is her mother a dancer at a strip club? When she grows up, she wants to be just like her mommy. Let's read the letter the little girl's mother wrote to the little girl's teacher. Here is the reply the teacher received the following day. Dear Mrs. Jones, I wish to clarify that I am not now, nor have I ever been, an exotic dancer. I work at Home Depot, and I told my daughter how hectic it was last week before the blizzard hit. I told her we sold out every single shovel we had, and then I found one more in the back room, and that several people were fighting over who would get it. Her picture doesn't show me dancing around a pole. It's supposed to depict me selling the last snow shovel we had at Home Depot. From now on, I will remember to check her homework more thoroughly before she turns it in. Sincerely, Mrs. Smith. The purpose of motivation research is to allow the unconscious to reveal itself without the censorship to consciously do and say the acceptable. But sometimes, an unconscious thought slips through the normal channels of editing and censorship. This is described as a Freudian slip. Is this what happened to this red-faced newscaster?
Sask Energy is announcing a proposal to jack up the cost of heating your home by 27 to 30%.
To her credit, she made a poised and gracious save. As the cover of this Time magazine shows, Freud and motivation research are not held in high regard by all. Perhaps this negativity is balanced somewhat by the popular and positive receipt of the writings of Malcolm Gladwell's book, Blink. The unconscious does have an influence on snap decisions.